Hey everybody, this video is part of our full-length The Onside Kick podcast. You can find that on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes. You can pretty much find it anywhere, so we don't care where you listen. Just stick around and check it out.
But Mark, we're going to move on into the NFC East, or the NFC Least as we've called it after this past season. I kind of want to change it to the NFC Beast after what Dak Prescott was able to do with that division, putting it on the map and not just saying, oh, we're going to get 500, 9-7, maybe 10-6 and win the division. It's going to be a horse race. No, that team won it straight out. But we're actually looking at the Washington Redskins in the NFC East. And the Redskins and Kirk Cousins have yet to come up to a long-term deal. The deadline for said deal is July 15th. We're going to talk about, will the deal get done? But before that, just want to say, ESPN Redskin reporter John Keim said that there's a 50% chance, 50% that a deal gets done. Coin. And when asked about it, head coach Jay Gruden basically dodged the question, saying, I know he's going to be here this season, and that's all I care about. Perhaps something changes if Washington is able to put together a playoff run, but right now the two sides are headed towards the divorce next spring, and that's from Roto World. I'm going to ask you this, Mark. What are your odds, and do you think we will get a deal from Cousins and the Redskins done by the July 15th deadline?
Well, I just don't get this because I asked myself, what are the Redskins hoping for? Are they hoping for that Kirk Cousins will go and prove himself a third time? Mm-hmm. And if he does, he will demand an even larger contract? Or are they hoping that he goes out there and proves he's a failure, and then they don't have to pay him, but then they're out a franchise quarterback? I don't understand what their win scenario is. Mm-hmm. What is their win? Because this can only end poorly for them. Either they pay more money or they lose a quarterback. And the worst case scenario is he's good and he goes somewhere else. So this,
like my Vikings.
This makes zero sense to me at all. Not your Vikings. If he goes to your Vikings, he'll probably be a little too cold.
I mean, Sam Bradford coming off of this is his last year on the deal. Mm-hmm. We don't know if Teddy Bridgewater's coming back.
I think we know that Teddy Bridgewater's not coming back.
Come over to the purple and gold, Kirk Cousins. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that a lot.
I'm sure you do. I think he likes San Francisco a little bit more. But
hey, we play in a dome. It's not that cold.
It's cold outside. You got to go outside at some point to get to your car. Actually, they probably have an underground parking garage, but whatever. So it just doesn't make sense to me. My odds for this getting done, everything in my heart tells me there's no way they're going to get it done because Washington has proven that they have zero interest in making this happen.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's saying they have to know this is stupid and that they're being dumb, so they will get this done. This is what I kept saying about Tyrod Taylor. The Buffalo Bills were being fucking stupid. And eventually they realized, oh, hey, we're being dumb. Let's get something to work out. Let's stop pissing this quarterback off. Of course, they're still pissing off Tyrod Taylor any chance they get. That's what Washington's doing with Kirk Cousins. They're pissing him off any chance they can get to making him not want to be there. This is basically his audition for other teams now. And it just doesn't make sense because everything should say, Washington, you have not had a franchise quarterback in so damn long. Be happy that you have one who will be in his prime for you. Sign this damn guy to a deal, get it done, make him your franchise quarterback, compete, and then win some Super Bowls maybe. But that's not what they're doing. So I really don't have a good answer to your question, Ricky, because I'm thinking that they really fucking should get it done, but I just don't see it happening because it's Washington.
Then I will answer the question straight out. No, a deal's not going to get done by the deadline. And I'm also in agreement with you. And really, to answer your question, the Redskins technically haven't had a good starting quarterback since 2012. I'm going to use RG3's rookie season as a quality season.
But I'm more talking about like long-term franchise quarterback.
But before that, maybe Mark Burnell from 04 to 06.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the last one. Because other than that, you had Jason Campbell for 3 years from 07 to 09, Donovan McNabb for that one, and then you had the Rex Grossman year before you got RG3 and Kirk Cousins, and now you've had 2 seasons with Kirk Cousins And I look at it and I go, what else does this guy have to show you?
Yeah.
What else does he need to do? And the thing that I don't understand about this, and you kind of touched on it, and I'm going to go further into it. When you have a quarterback that you think can just bring you out of that quarterback purgatory, the quarterback position is that one position to where if you have a guy like Tom Brady, can carry your team and can do it all. But all you have to do is be competent at that position, and it'll give you a chance to win games. As long as you are competent at the quarterback position and have a guy, like I'd say, like Kirk Cousins would be that. Maybe even a little above that. If you are competent at that position and have a guy that's not going to turn the ball over and does his job on offense, you will at least have a chance to be in football games and win football games. And I look at the moves that we have seen, the kind of hustle and bustle that we've seen around the league. Last year in the draft, well, now 2 years ago, because we had this past year's draft, the Rams moved up for a quarterback. The Eagles moved up for a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Other times that we have seen moves, we have seen the Bears trade for a quarterback. Really, the Bears are two sides of this situation. They had Rex Grossman, who no one would say is a superstar quarterback, but he was competent and had an amazing defense behind him. So really, you can surround a competent quarterback. Well, competent,
yeah, you're using competent a little loosely.
Quotes, because really, Rex Grossman, it's like my dad always said, you knew what Rex you were going to get after that first possession.
Whether he's going to throw 5 interceptions or not.
But then you look at the Bears, 2 other moves that they have done in their lifetime, trading for Jay Cutler because we need a quarterback.
Yeah.
And then this past year in the draft, moving up a spot just to make sure they get their guy so that they can lock down that position. We see my Vikings this offseason. Teddy Bridgewater goes down. They immediately hit, and I'm going to say it in all confidence, hit the panic button and traded for Sam Bradford. Hit the panic button. They were a lot more calm than I'm making it seem. But they basically said, we need a quarterback.
But they knew the season was done if they don't get somebody.
They went out and got a quarterback.
Little did they know that the season was done anyways.
Yeah, the season was done anyway. I mean, we had an okay season. We started out well. But that's not the point. You look at other teams. Like, I'm going to use one in the New England Patriots. Why do you think Bill Belichick is hanging on to Jimmy Garoppolo so much? Because he knows if I lose Tom at all, if I lose him at all to anything, injury, if I lose him to eventually just goes, fuck it, I'm not going to play anymore. Having Jimmy Garoppolo is the next bet. Like, this is a guy,
he's got a guy he believes
that is
in.
confident, and I can win games with him. So why are the Redskins sitting there going, no, we don't need that?
And the big thing that you say that really stands out in my head is we talk about the Jay Cutler situation for Chicago. And
he was competent.
He's a competent quarterback. Jay Cutler, at most times, was the average to above average quarterback. There were times where he was below average, sure. But more times than not, he was not going to necessarily be a detriment to Chicago until he throws that one interception. You say, fuck it, let's get rid of him.
I will say, there were some games he didn't have that great of an O-line.
He has those times where things go wrong. But anyways, Kirk Cousins, yards last year, 3rd highest. He was like 8th highest in touchdowns, middle of the pack for interceptions thrown. His completion percentage, he's like 8th highest for quarterbacks. This is not a average quarterback. This is an above average quarterback in nearly every category, minus the interceptions thrown where he is pretty much perfectly average. So he's a above average quarterback for you. And you don't want him? What are you waiting for? You're waiting for someone who's going to be Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be Drew Brees, Tom Brady? Is that what you want? Because those guys don't come around that often. We made a big deal about Andrew Luck being a once-in-a-generation type of player,
How many Super Bowls has he got?
Well, that's true there, but there's a lot going wrong in Indianapolis. But that's what I'm saying. You have a once-in-a-generation player. And what's the next, what's the next thing you're looking for? What else are you going to get? What are you going to get that's going to be better than Kirk Cousins? You can ask a team, any team in the NFL, going into this past draft. You can have Kirk Cousins right now, or you can have one of these rookie quarterbacks who you're about to draft. Who do you want to start next season?
I'm going to take Kirk Cousins.
Exactly. And everybody's going to take Kirk Cousins because we have a known commodity right now. What do you think you're going to get that's going to be better? And sure, Deshaun Watson could be the next Joe Montana. And everything is different. Everything has changed, and it's perfect, and everything's great. But right now, we know we have a quarterback that's good.
I like how you used Joe Montana and not Tom Brady.
Hey, I said he was the king of football, and I stand by it.
You said Montana's the king of football?
I said he is the king of football. The current king, though, if you just look at right now, is Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
And I stand by what I said.
You were getting a lot of hate in the comment section last
Why
week.
the fuck don't people like Aaron Rodgers? I hate Aaron Rodgers. I'm wearing a Bears hoodie right now, but he's still the damn king of football. Anyways, rings aside, it just comes down to me. Kirk Cousins, he's an above average quarterback. What more do you want? There's maybe... If I was going to rank these quarterbacks, and I'm not going to do it right now, I'm going to have maybe 6 or 7 quarterbacks above Kirk Cousins. I really think that if I'm the Redskins, that I'm going to be able to get a guy who's going to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks.
And let me throw this out to you.
And you're going to have to draft him, by the way, because there's not going to just be someone, unless it's Mike Glennon, there's not going to just be some guy roaming in free agency.
Let me use the example that I was going to just bring up, and it was a team last year. So in 2016, they drafted a quarterback, and they went ahead and this season he did great things for them. Who do you think I'm talking about?
Last season, the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, same division though.
Same division. Who? Oh, Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. Look at,
I almost forgot that he was a rookie.
Look at what the Cowboys did. One season with Dak, a guy who everyone thought Jerry Jones would be so loyal to, and Tony Romo.
Yeah.
They said bye because they have Tony Romo. Of course, he had the thing of he's getting old.
Yeah.
So you look at it and go,
that's a better
let's go
team
with the young buck
overall than the Redskins are.
But I can use that too as an example of that's another position where a team went, hey, instead of having Dak just sit here because we've got Tony, let's go with Dak because we're going to win games. Bye, Tony. Why? And I look at it and I go, why haven't... This is just, to me, I feel like the Redskins and Kirk Cousins have just been in what we've called, and I'm going to be uncensored here, big dick contest. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Who wants to show that they have the bigger manhood, basically? And I'm going to put all the blame on the Redskins because Kirk Cousins is just... At first was playing for a job. Yeah. Then it's like, oh, you're not going to give me a deal? Okay, I'll play again. And now this season, if Kirk Cousins wants to get a little angry and say, nah, I'll wait, he has all the right in the world. Because if he waits, he is either going to be the most highest paid quarterback via a tender, or he is going to get his money from another team.
And he's got all the leverage in the world. I mean, he's got 2 good seasons here.
Yep.
If he has one more good season, of course, all can go wrong if he gets injured or sucks it up. But he's showing everything right now. There's nothing the Redskins
to the playoffs
have
in 2015.
Yeah, there's nothing that the Redskins have in their arsenal to use to go against Kirk Cousins, besides the fact that, and I have criticized him for this in the past, when he had the opportunities before, he did not win that job over RG3. Now, that's a whole different situation. There's a lot that goes into it.
But after he developed.
Now he has done everything you could possibly ask. It makes zero sense to me. I have not seen a good argument being made after this past season. At first, with that one season, it's like, okay, maybe you can believe it was a fluke. Then he came out and he did it again. I have not seen a good argument that says why you should not pay Kirk Cousins. Unless it's just being hopeful, or it's just someone who is being stubborn and saying, I still don't believe he's good.
If this was a position like, I'm going to say on the defensive side, or if this was a running back or any position besides the quarterback,
the most important position,
I would say, okay, I can see why you don't want to give him the money. But because he plays quarterback, he's had 2 solid seasons. Like I said, the 2015 season, he went ahead and brought them to the playoffs. And this past year, although they went 8-7-1, 8-7-1. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Although they went 8-7-1, the Cowboys were really good this season, and the Giants were good this season in their own division. So, but his play didn't, to me, take a huge step back. And I just look at it and I go, you want to set yourself up for the future. And there's so many things I'm hearing in the offseason about Doxson. How he's doing better. He's getting more in rhythm. He's healthy. They're expecting big things out of him. The last thing you want to do is have him have a good season with Kirk Cousins this year and then throw a new quarterback at him.
Yeah. And to me, I look at all this and it obviously you don't want to pay your quarterback a shit ton of money, but you also don't want to not have a quarterback. And which one is worse? Paying your quarterback a lot of money or not having a quarterback?
Ask the Browns.
Yeah.
Ask the Browns how not having a quarterback is. Ask the Jets this year. I mean, they've got Josh McCown. We'll see how that works this year. But we all thought Fitzmagic was going to be as good as he was 2 years ago for them. Ask the Jets how it feels to not have a quarterback. Ask the Browns how it feels to not have a quarterback. Look at the Jaguars, a team we are going to talk about in the last segment of the podcast. They're a team that there are people out there, except for the one yearbook photo, funny picture I saw today where this one senior student for his yearbook quote put Blake Bortles, Blake Bortles, Blake Bortles, Blake Bortles, dash Blake Bortles. And he tweeted and said, Blake Bortles, you'll always be my quarterback. There have been people out there that have criticized Blake Bortles, that have said the Jaguars could do better than Blake Bortles.
They probably could.
But what did the Jaguars do? They picked up his fifth option. They kept him on for that fifth year because they look at it and they go, we have a quarterback that we're confident in.
Yeah.
Why give that up?
Well, you look at the NFL draft this year. The Bears traded up for Trubisky. The Chiefs traded
and
up.
the Texans.
Yeah, for Mahomes and then Watson. These were teams that needed to give up a good amount to get their quarterbacks and to get something they can trust. And these are guys who one of them will probably start week one, but that's still a question mark. It's not for sure Watson will start week one. The other one being Trubisky, there's a good chance he will get an opportunity, and Mahomes won't sit the entire season most likely.
Because there's Alex Smith.
So you have three of these guys drafted towards the top, and two of them might play. One of them is more likely to play. So you don't have that great of odds. It just doesn't make sense to me. You have a known commodity, use it. I got nothing else to say to the Redskins. Well, you got Kirk Cousins, you got to use him.
And here's the only thing.
Get it done.
Here's the last thing I want to bring up with this is because I am on the side of I don't think a deal's getting done by the deadline.
No,
I'm
I don't
saying
either.
by the deadline. So we're going to be talking all year about this. Now, does a deal get done after the season? Maybe. Do the Redskins franchise tag him a third time and make him the highest paid quarterback basically in the league? Maybe, but I wouldn't
Probably
think
not,
they would.
no.
I don't think that. I wouldn't put that price tag on Kirk Cousins. It has nothing to do with Kirk Cousins. I just wouldn't want to use all my money for that. I would try to get a long-term deal done because it's not going to come anywhere close to what that tender would be.
Although there's a good chance he probably will still be the highest paid quarterback.
Yeah, but it's not going to be as much as that tender is going to be. And the thing I look at is, okay, are the Redskins thinking, well, next year's a quarterback heavy class? Like right now in the top five.
That's what people are expecting, yeah.
Well, in my top five right now, there are to me four that are top fives. And then that fifth spot, there's like three that I'm thinking right now, okay, it could be that guy, could be Falk, could be Rudolph, could be Mayfield. There's not a set five. There are going to be a ton of quarterbacks. Now, we got to play the season to see how they all do, but are the Redskins thinking, yeah, you know what? We can go get a quarterback in next year's draft, where I look at it and I go, well, yeah, but if Kirk Cousins' trend continues and your team does well, you might not have that draft pick to get the Rosen, Darnold, Jackson, or Allen, because I'll be honest, right now, looking at the draft for next year, I see all four of those quarterbacks, Darnold, Allen, Jackson, and Rosen in that order, all going in the top five.
Yeah, I don't think that's likely, but just because the season's going to change things.
Well, and the draft order is going to get set differently than it is with the predictions of
exactly.
schedules.
But you just can't go in, and that's my point I was making with these rookie quarterbacks for this draft. Only one of them is most likely going to start,
Which is Deshaun Watson.
So you might get a guy that's ready to start. You might not. And there's no guarantees on any of these guys. Any of these ones could be busts. We've been pretty fortunate so far that Mariota, Winston were good. Andrew Luck was good. RG3 had opportunity until he got hurt. I wouldn't call that a knock on him. He just happened to get hurt, and now it's all done. Then you look at some of these other guys, and it's like, well, what about Geno Smith? That wasn't very good. What about
Brady
EJ
Quinn?
Manuel?
What about
Brady Quinn?
Johnny Manziel?
Johnny Manziel's, well, that's a whole different issue.
Yeah.
But like, there's all these other quarterbacks I throw in there. Jared Goff hasn't got his opportunity, so I know he's probably been mentioned in the comment section.
Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Tim
definitely go
Couch.
far to all these histories, but I'm just saying in recent memory, because right now we're kind of clouded by thinking about Winston, Mariota, Andrew Luck, RG3, like I said, showed promise. We're kind of clouded on these guys that were like, oh, you can definitely get somebody. That's not even mentioning people like Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, who surprised people, or Derek Carr. And your odds are not as good as they might seem. And that's something that a team like the Redskins, or they're probably smarter about it. A lot of times it's, us, the fans of football, that say, oh, like Chicago was a good example of Jay Cutler's bad. Just go draft another quarterback. It's not that simple. It's not that easy to just go and draft a quarterback.
Look at Jake Locker. How did he plan out?
Yeah. I mean, the Chicago Bears ended up trading up to secure the fact that they could trade or get their quarterback, and people are trash talking that. Not as much anymore, but it's just one of those interesting things.
Shut him up at rookie minicamp.
Yeah, pretty much. all the beat writers were criticizing, and then he looks pretty good.
I will say, and this is off topic a bit, but I just want to throw it out there. I saw one clip of Trubisky, and it was camera aimed behind him, and he's throwing at a tire. Pinpointed it perfectly. Ball didn't hit the tire at all. Just went right through and kept going. Oh, it was a beautiful throw.
Yeah.
But I
Kid's
digress.
got some talent.
Continue your Kirk Cousins point.
You're just not. It's just not a good. Your odds are against you to just draft a quarterback and have it work out. Is basically what I'm saying.
That's why this team drafted 2 in the same draft class.
Yeah, and one of them didn't work out, and the other one
panned out.
Did pan out.
But you don't want to pay him.
It's just. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It makes no sense to me, and I don't understand what the Redskins are doing. Just like I don't understand what the Buffalo Bills are doing with pissing off Tyrod Taylor. And Kirk Cousins is a much better quarterback than Tyrod Taylor. I mean, Tyrod is, to me, that average to slightly above average. Kirk Cousins is that, without a doubt, above average.
And I want to this is the last thing I'll make on this point before I throw it back for your final thoughts, is I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is in the same category as like a Tom Brady. He's not a guy that go out there.
But he's got potential.
He's got potential, but it's not like that greatest of all time, Super Bowl games on the line, Kirk Cousins go win me the game.
But he's a quarterback that can win you a Super Bowl.
But if you put a team around him. You've got to have the complete team around him.
I don't even think you need a complete team. You just need a team that has a good supporting cast. The guy's got great talent.
Tom Brady could go out there, and there have been times where, and I mean, Drew Brees has kind of done this too in his career of, we didn't even know guy like Wes Welker didn't even say his name until he became a Patriot. Julian Edelman probably wouldn't know his name if Tom Brady wasn't his quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, Kirk Cousins isn't going to be that to where, like, Drew Brees, Tom Brady making their wide receivers known commodities.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, with all the wide, like, Marquise Colston and how much, like, Willie Snead. Would we know fucking Willie Snead's name if Drew Brees wasn't thrown to him? No, we wouldn't. But Kirk Cousins is a competent quarterback, and I'm not saying that as like a knock. I would love to have next season, if Sam Bradford's not my guy and Teddy Bridgewater can't come back, I would love and I would be out there campaigning for my Vikings to go ahead and sign Kirk Cousins. You want to know why? Because I know it's a solid pick at the quarterback position that can help me. Could you imagine, and this is me just being a little bit of wishful thinking, could you imagine Kirk Cousins with that defense?
They'd be good.
with that defense.
You need some wide receivers.
We do, and we got Michael Floyd. We're gonna see how he pans out with our team. We also got Latavius Murray and Dalvin Cook now in the backfield. But could you imagine Kirk Cousins with a defense as good as that? With how good we played, especially those 6 games, because let's be honest, we didn't get no help from the offense half the time.
The offensive line needs to get a little better for him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing for your Vikings. Just to you personally, Ricky, to your Vikings, Kirk Cousins is going to go, yeah, no, I don't want to go there. I like
really,
my legs.
The team I'd put right now that Kirk Cousins would go to is the 49ers. He would go back to play with Kyle Shanahan.
You just had this thing where he's going to go, I watched RG3 get injured and ruin his career. I don't want to be behind that line.
But what are your final thoughts on the Kirk Cousins and the long-term deal possibility with the Redskins?
I would be surprised if it gets done before July 15th. But logically, it wouldn't surprise me because it makes so much damn sense that you should do it. I just don't believe the Redskins will do it.
No, I don't
That's what it comes down to. And they're dumb for not doing it. But you know what? Watch, Kirk Cousins is going to get injured in the preseason, and then everyone's going to laugh.
Please don't. Please, I would not wish that on Redskin fans or Kirk Cousins. But this is where we turn it on to you guys, and I want you guys and Redskin fans to let us know down below what you guys think. I'm going to throw a special shout-out to one of our favorite Redskin fans, I'll say, in Vance. Let us know down below what you think, Vance. What do you think, Kirk Cousins? Should he get a long-term deal? Will he get a long-term deal? Because that's really the question here. Let us know down below in the comment section.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and don't worry, there is plenty more where that came from. You guys can check it out right over here. Click that video, start watching it, and just stick around on Most Valuable Podcasts.